We live in an age of endless wanting. We condition our happiness on a specific set of circumstances. We demand that the traffic be light, that our colleagues be polite, and that our bodies remain forever youthful. We believe that if we can just control our environment, we will finally be at peace. But the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius argued the exact opposite. In his private journals, now known as Meditations, he observed that the more we demand the world to bend to our will, the more we suffer. The source of our anxiety isn't the world itself, but our resistance to it. The path to tranquility isn't found in getting what you want, but in learning to accept what you get. Here is how to shift your mindset from a state of constant craving to one of radical acceptance. One of the hardest pills to swallow is that we have zero authority over the minds of others. You will encounter rudeness, arrogance, and malice. This is a statistical certainty. When someone attacks your character, Aurelius suggests a mental pause. He argues that the insult itself is just noise. The injury only occurs when you interpret that noise as harmful. If you strip away your emotional reaction, the words lose their power. Instead of wasting your limited energy trying to fix difficult people or agonizing over their opinions, view them as you would a weather event. You don't get angry at a storm for raining. Similarly, don't get angry at a rude person for acting according to their nature. Focus entirely on your own integrity and let others be who they are. Human beings are obsessed with legacy and longevity, yet we are living in a universe defined by expiration dates. Aurelius often reminded himself that even the mightiest empires eventually crumble into dust. He viewed humanity as fleeting as the seasons. Generations rise and fall like autumn leaves. This perspective shouldn't be depressing. Rather, it should be liberating. If fame is temporary and even the people who remember you will eventually die, then the pressure to be someone vanishes. When you accept that the past is a memory and the future is a fantasy, you are left with the only thing that actually exists, the present moment. Embracing impermanence allows you to stop clinging to life so tightly, letting you actually enjoy the ride. Most of us pray for a life without obstacles. We wish for safety. The Stoic, however, acknowledges that misfortune is woven into the fabric of existence. This leads to the core Stoic concept, the dichotomy of control. If you tie your well-being to things you cannot keep, like health, wealth, or specific outcomes, you are voluntarily becoming a slave to fate. Aurelius suggests rewriting our internal prayers. Instead of begging the universe to save your child, ask for the strength to not fear the future. Instead of wishing to keep your lover forever, wish for the wisdom to love them without possessiveness. We cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can build an internal fortress that remains unshaken regardless of what tragedy strikes. Resistance to change is a form of madness. The universe is in a constant state of flux. Stars explode to create elements, and cells die to create new life. To fear change is to fear the very process that keeps reality functioning. Trying to freeze a moment in time is as futile as trying to grab a handful of water. The tighter you squeeze, the faster it slips away. Aurelius saw the cosmos as a flowing river. He understood that destruction and creation are two sides of the same coin. When we stop viewing change as a threat and start seeing it as nature's necessary evolution, we lose our anxiety. We stop swimming upstream and learn to float with the current. Finally, acceptance must turn inward. We often despise our own aging, our physical limitations, or our lack of certain talents. But fighting your own biology is a losing battle. Aurelius urges us to accept the raw material we were given. However, he also reminds us of our unique advantage: reason. While animals are slaves to instinct, humans have the cognitive power to choose their reactions. To accept your nature is to acknowledge your flaws, while simultaneously using your mind to rise above base impulses. It is a conscious decision to say yes to reality. By aligning your will with the way the world actually works, you transform from a victim of circumstance into a master of your own inner world.